Because I've seen people that date for years.
So
10, 15, 20
so
years.
sad.
And it's like,
It's
y'all ain't
bad.
made no type of commitment. Well, we already know what it is. No. What do you mean I know what it is? I'm nothing but a girlfriend to you.
So you date to marry, so you believe that the institution of marriage is not only good, but what you say you believe that it was instituted by God?
Yes. Which is why when people say, oh, we have to date for a certain amount of years before we marry, let me tell you something. I've seen people date for 3, 4 months and get married, and they're still together to this day. Been together for God knows. You never know when God's gonna bring somebody into your life. When God brings that person into your life, and God actually tells you like, this is the one I have for you. Why are we waiting years
Hmm.
to be committed and be in that covenant when we already know for a fact this is what God has ordained for us? So why are we wasting both of each other's time? We need to nullify.
It's a proven fact that 93% of men already know within the first 10 minutes of meeting a female
Exactly.
if they're gonna marry or if they're gonna play her.
Exactly.
So I feel like if I meet a male today, within the first 10 minutes, we're starting to vibe, we're starting to connect. He already knows if he loves me or if he's gonna marry me in the future, then he needs to put some sort of action behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that action plays the biggest part in a relationship. You can sit there and tell me all day, oh well, I'm sorry, this will never happen. You don't have to worry about this. You won't have to worry about this. If I don't feel you're proving that to me, then I have all right to get my stuff and A, leave, or B, sit there and just allow you to do what you're doing.
You know, you said something though. You said if a man doesn't do what you feel like he should be doing. So now we're going into the arena of communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many
Now,
niggas know how to communicate?
What's communication?
A man got to know what you want in order for him to do it, right?
Not necessarily.
How so?
Because I feel if you're raised with love, then you'll automatically know how. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're raised with love, then you'll automatically know how to love. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what about love languages?
It goes back
Love
to
languages is.
I'm gonna say it goes back to what I said earlier about man who's after God's heart. God is a God of love as well as he's a God of judgment as well, but he's a God of love. So if you're after God's heart, there is all this stuff. It's very broad. All that stuff comes with it. So I shouldn't have to explain to a man how to love a woman. You will love me pretty much close in the same way you love God. If you truly love God, you will love me the same.
And you feel like it. Okay.
I'm not talking about agape love. Agape love is.
Girl, did you just go Greek on me? Okay.
That's the love that God has, that we're supposed to have for God and God has for us.
Right.
But when you have unconditional love, meaning I don't have to tell you not to cheat on me. I don't have to tell you
The morality, right?
Yeah,
okay,
you should know this stuff. I shouldn't have to tell you.
No.
Now, if I have to
agree.
tell you, here's the thing: if I have to tell you, then that means when you do it, it's not going to come from your heart. It's not going to be done because you know it's the right thing to do.
Right.
It's kind of like when people say, "But you didn't say sorry to me." My thing is, if you had never told me sorry, if you offended me, or if we get into an argument and you don't say sorry to me, I'm not going to tell you to apologize to me, because apparently you don't think that what you did was wrong. You don't think that what happened, you had any fault in it. So I should not have to point out your fault. Because if I have to point it out, your apology is not going to be sincere. And that leaves a gateway and room for you to do it again. Because therefore you ain't learned nothing from it.
I understand. So let me ask you guys something. So I feel like that's a lot of responsibility on a man that is trying to chase God's heart, just because there's some things that I've struggled with. For example, me and my wife, she will tell me things like, "Look, bro, when I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it no more." And at times, I had found it very difficult to just drop a situation because I'm like, "Well, You know, you mad, baby. I can't have you mad at me or a situation. And I feel like that's a part of communication. So in terms of like a man that's after God's own heart, what about the specifics of what makes you you? And how to, dwell with your wives according to knowledge.
I would say this. I know I keep referring back to God, but it's like whenever you have a question, I promise He got the answer for it. So it's like in that situation, that example that you gave, that if you and your wife get into an argument and then she tells you she's done and she won't talk about it, and you're trying to figure out how to approach her. For one, you know your wife. I'm quite sure you knew her flaws, the pros and cons about her. You know what she'll tolerate, what she won't tolerate. But then at the same time, if you're still confused on what to do, it's simple. You got two needs. Get down on them. And you ask God and say, God, how do I approach her? And I promise, He may not answer you right then and there, but that answer's going to come. And you'll find, and He'll tell you of how to approach her. It's the same way when Moses went to Pharaoh. Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Multiple times. Even to the very last point to where they went to the Red Sea. His heart was hardened again. He ran after them. God has a way of going back to touch her heart. So whatever it is at that moment, as soon as you pray, God can probably go back right to her and soften her heart. And she may even come and approach you and say, look, okay, I know I said I was done talking about it, but this is really bothering me. And that's when we have that way of doing that. Like,
Look,
we'll
girl,
complain.
You giving